On Tuesday, Trump held a press conference with Netanyahu to announce that he plans for the U.S. to take over Gaza. This includes shafting out roughly 1.8 million Palestinians out of Gaza, their home, and Trump has even said he doesn't rule out sending over U.S. troops to Gaza. Trump has said he wants Egypt and Jordan to take in the Palestinians he's going to force out, but both countries have already said they're not going to help him resettle the people in Gaza. So this is almost certainly going to brew even more conflict between this country and the Middle East, and this is the pro-peace president I keep hearing about. Someone who is fully on board with ethnic cleansing, and let's not mince words here, that's exactly what this is. It doesn't always mean you literally have to kill an entire ethnic group, though I am sure this endeavor will definitely not go without a body count. But part of the definition of an ethnic cleansing is forcibly removing an ethnic group from land they call home. And I want to hammer this in because I watched an upload of this press conference and Trump and Netanyahu in the Oval Office addressing the press afterwards. And pretty much all of the comments were from these fucking idiots slobbing Trump's knob, going like, "That's my president. Trump is the president of peace. Give him a Nobel Peace Prize." Whether these comments were left by real people or bots, as you recall, it is genuinely depressing that you can't even tell these days. But let's humor these comments for a minute and say yes, these were from real, living and breathing Trump supporters. Let's just say that one day another country declared the land that you're living on theirs, and they effectively say, "We don't give a fuck that this land is your home, you gotta get out." Would you just roll over and say, "Okay, I'll leave," or would you bite back and say, "No, this is my home, you have no fucking right to tell me that I have to leave my home"? I think any reasonable person would take the latter position, and this is essentially the dilemma Gazans are in right now. Oh, but they're terrorists, so who gives a fuck about their human rights? All 1.8 million people in Gaza, many of those including innocent men, women, children who have fuck all to do with Hamas, are responsible for what happened on October 7th? Spare me your faux outrage about terrorism and your faux goal about wanting to stop Hamas. Trump may have accidentally revealed the real death toll in Gaza because previously 2.3 million people were estimated to have lived in Gaza, and now Trump is saying there are roughly 1.7 to 1.8 million people in Gaza right now. If correct, that is roughly 500 to 600,000 Palestinians Israel has killed since October 7th. And Hamas killed what, around 1,500 Israelis on October 7th? I would say Israel has received far more quote-unquote retribution than is necessary. That's not to say if Israel only killed 1,500 Palestinians that would still be okay. I'm just saying there is no justification you can whip up for Israel's immensely disproportionate response to what happened on that day. None. Besides, Israel just wants to see bloodshed, and it doesn't matter if an overwhelming amount of the blood that is shed is from innocent people, again, including children. And all the fucking way, this country has aided and abetted clear-cut genocide, and it is now to the point where this country is forcibly removing an entire group of people from their home. And I saw a post on Blue Sky last night from Kyle Kalinske that reads, "Everybody who pretended Donald Trump was anti-war should be fucking ashamed of themselves." And yeah, they should, but they don't fucking care. All throughout the campaign trail, they were maintaining that Donald Trump is anti-war, pro-peace, and by extension, MAGA is pro-peace and anti-war. And the second the campaign ended and Trump won, all of that anti-war pretense conveniently vanished, and all of a sudden it was annex Canada, annex Greenland, invade Panama, and take the Panama Canal for ourselves. This is not a serious base of people committed ideologically to fucking anything. They just fall in line behind and gladly eat up anything their cult leader tells them without question. Hypocrisy be damned. So I'm not going to expect any ride-or-die Trumper to all of a sudden have a come-to-Jesus moment over this, when all of the other, 6 million other times Trump has blatantly lied to them wasn't enough to get through to them. But to everyone else who isn't completely detached from reality, it should be clear now more than ever that Trump is every bit the warmonger that MAGA claims claims that he wasn't. It's the Bush administration all over again. Let's invade the Middle East under the guise of fighting terrorism and finding weapons of mass destruction that don't fucking exist to make it seem like we're doing this for a noble cause. And in this instance, let's force an entire fucking group of people out of their goddamn homes because their land is already war-torn anyway. Hardly any buildings are left standing. There's been mass death. And who is responsible for all of that mass death and destruction we have seen in Gaza? Oh, right, the man you're sitting right next to in the Oval Office, Netanyahu, who you're still giving $1 billion in aid to. There's not really much commentary I can give besides these two men are deeply evil. And by extension, this country is deeply evil. Our previous president unconditionally supported Israel's genocide in Gaza. Most of Congress, regardless of party affiliation, has also been fully on board with genocide. And now this country is going to force an entire group of people off of land that they lived on. We are only, 16, 17 days into this administration, and it is already this brazenly evil. I mean, yeah, I just don't know what to say. I mean, if you didn't see this coming, he was literally saying on the campaign trail he would help Israel, quote-unquote, finish the job, and here he is, helping Israel finish the job. So if you're actually shocked that this is happening, then here's your Fell For It Again award, and you're an idiot to the umpteenth degree. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Bye-bye.